What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Yagster, back at it again, making Murder Drones content and polls, because I have no life. And I actually have a huge announcement for you guys. And I'm trusting you guys can keep this all a secret, because if this got leaked, I'm afraid I might be in huge trouble. But hey, I'm trusting the process here, and you guys should as well. The title of this video might confuse you because, well, you know, Murder Drones is a one-season show, it has 8 episodes, and hell, I mean, even Liam himself put out a statement saying that Murder Drones is over. So, what the hell is this whole Season 2 thing about? There's a little secret I haven't told you guys, and it's the fact that Liam Vickers is actually my long-lost uncle. And I only found this out recently, so because of that fact, I actually managed to get a few leaks for Season 2 early. So, I'm gonna tell you guys, because, you know, I'm just a cool guy. So, yeah. The first leak I have for you is Episode 1. Not the entire thing, of course, but I have a few of the rough storyboards that Liam literally just made for it, like, yesterday. This should be on screen, like, right now. So the first thing we can see here is that Uzi is very upset that Sin is inside her head, you know, because it's Uzi's head and Sin's being mean, because why is Sin trying to go inside someone else's head? That's not very nice of her. So the whole plot of episode 1 is Uzi dealing with the fact that Sin is constantly bothering her, and it's affecting her relationship with N. It's pretty much like a rom-com in a way, except with Sin and Uzi, and all the Murder Drones characters, and I think that's pretty cool for the most part. Episode 2 is a bit more boring from what I know. I'm pretty sure the main conflict of this episode is Thad just not having enough root beer for his shindig. So it's mostly a chance for us to get to see Copper 9 and some of the other colonies that we didn't get to see inside Season 1. So that's pretty cool for the most part. Here's a rough storyboard of them going outside the bunker right now to go get that root beer. Because, you know, the drones definitely drink root beer a lot, and it's key to their survival. There was actually a typo in Season 1, where every time they said oil, they actually meant root beer. And yeah, that's exactly why they're getting root beer inside Episode 2. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I think this episode is going to be called, like, Murder Drones Season 2, Episode 2, The Root Beerining. So yeah, don't take my word for that though, that might be false. So yeah, let's move on to Episode 3. Episode 3 is pretty cool from what I know. It was actually foreshadowed last year at Glitch X, because when N and Uzi went on screen and they said the deafening, that's actually this season's Episode 3's title, is the deafening. Because like last season there was the promening, so instead of that we have the deafening. And I don't know if you know, actually I'm pretty sure you don't know that I know, but the main theme of this episode is going to be death, because people are going to be upset that people died last season. I'm pretty sure it was actually kind of also foreshadowed at the end of episode 8 in season 1, where you know, they're mourning Doll in the prom, and it was like a very serious funeral for her, because, you know, death is a very sad theme inside the show. A lot of characters died, a lot of characters mourn these characters, and it really accumulates inside the deafening. So the main point of conflict here is going to be just trying to move on and generally just being sad because, well, death is a very sad thing. So, yeah. Episode 4 is titled Flames of the Past, and fun fact, it's actually the first MD episode to have more than 2 words inside the title, and that's pretty neat. It's very similar to Cabin Fever last season, because I'm pretty sure the main premise of this episode is instead of Uzi going feral and killing all the innocent campers and saying she's sorry and being forgiven, it's actually Braden who does it. Yeah, Braden. So, I forgot to mention this, but the cliffhanger of last episode was that Braden got revived, because we see in Season 1, Episode 8, Braden actually is still there on the frozen lake where he died. So, somebody put his head back on his body, and his eyes activated. Let me put that storyboard on the screen right now. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So, anyways, now that Braden is back, he is better than ever. He's really angry that Uzi killed him last season in Episode 4. So, that is exactly why he goes on this rampage, and he kills all these innocent people, because there's going to be a lot of death in this episode, and it's all going to be fine because Braden said he's sorry, and just like how Uzi said she's sorry in last season's episode 4, he's going to be forgiven. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I actually don't have anything for season 2 episode 5, which, I mean, that might be a blessing in disguise, because, I mean, we all know how last season's episode 5 played out. God, that was a fucking disaster. Anyways, moving on. Episode 6's title is A Live Beginning, I'm pretty sure, because it's meant to be the opposite of last season's episode 6, which was called Dead End. So, instead of them being caught in a dead end, they're alive, and they're beginning to start the main conflict of the season, which will do a lot of cool stuff in episode 8. So, like, throughout the episodes, we see that Uzi's left eye is getting more and more yellow instead of purple, which means that Sin is taking over control of Uzi. So, eventually, both of Uzi's eyes are going to become yellow, and then Sin will, like, pop out of her face, Kind of like the cores, but it'll be just, like, digital and everything. And then, because the solver can take matter and reassemble it into some fleshy bits and whatever, like we see in episode 4 and 7 and everything, Sin will eventually, basically, like I said, reincarnate into this fleshy monstrosity that will fight everyone in episode 8. Season 2 episode 7 is called The Big Bang, because this episode pretty much is a big bang for a lot of cool stuff to happen once again. This episode actually has a major twist in it, and it's the fact that Thad was actually Sin the entire time. I know that sounds pretty fucking ridiculous, especially, me saying it out loud, but there's actually really good foreshadowing for the Thad Sin twist. Because like last season we had the Tess Sin twist, this season it's the Thad Sin twist. You see, in episode 4, while Braden's going off on his little rampage and killing everyone, we actually see Uzi go to this random cabin, which mirrors what she did last season, and she sees a random mannequin with like a backwards cap and green eyes and like some human bits on it, and she does not make a comment on this mannequin. She does not acknowledge it whatsoever, but you see it for like 5 seconds, so it's really good foreshadowing. So yeah, that is the Thad Sin twist, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to enjoy it, because Tessin was really well received, and people like her character design, and they think she's cool. So yeah, I'm sure Thad Sin is going to be very, very popular in the fandom. Season 2 episode 8 is titled Singularity, and it's a very, very emotional season finale. Unlike last season, we actually have 2 main villains we have to deal with inside this episode. Now, it's kind of a weird thing, because these 2 villains are actually the same villain, and they do kind of fuse, kind of like in Dragon Ball, into one villain, in like the midpoint of the episode, but for the first half, they're basically 2 entities. The first antagonist is, well, Sin, because throughout the entire season, we see that she slowly tries to, get out of Uzi's head and, become that fleshy monstrosity like I mentioned earlier. So, in this episode, in the very beginning, we see that Uzi will, pretty much, have a mental breakdown, and then Sin will, use this opportunity to escape her head and, pop out of her ear and, crawl away and everything. And then she's gonna meet up with her other half, which is Thad Sin, and they're going to do, like I said earlier, that Dragon Ball fusion dance and become Ultima Sin. And Ultima Sin is gonna try and destroy the entire world because she's evil and everything. And you see, Ultima Sin actually ends up killing most of the cast except for V and Khan and maybe Lizzie. I don't know. But everyone else dies. So Uzi, N, most of the colony, Sparky. Yeah, Sparky. Yeah. And ultimately, when it looks like all hope is lost, Braden will come in and absolutely demolish Ultima Sin. Because, you see, just like we saw last season, Sin is weak to fire. So the sun melted her core and everything. And since Braden's head is on fire, he will actually melt Sin's core, the second that they get into contact with each other. And Braden will save Murder Drones as a whole. Once again, I'm trusting everyone seeing this video is going to keep it a secret. Because, if this got leaked and they knew that I leaked it, it would be very bad for me. So yeah, I'm trusting all y'all are cool, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys are. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Oh yeah, but before I go, actually, I should mention that the premiere for Murder Drone Season 2 Episode 1 will be next year on April 1st. So yeah, April 1st, 2026. You know, keep that in mind. It's going to be a really, really good start to Season 2. The fandom is not going to die. The fan projects, I mean, they're basically all canceled. Because, you know, Murder Drones is back. So, yeah, there's no point to do all these fan projects or anything. So, yeah. With all that being said, thank you all for watching. And this is Yagster, totally not leaking Murder Drones Season 2. And, just, have a good one.